You know, me and my roommates sometimes will have disagreements, and like, I mean, it's partially my fault. I'll be the first to admit I'm not great with like housekeeping things. Like, I mean, like dishes and stuff like that. Like, I mean, my roommates are aware of this, and so they'll go on like this Gandhi-style hunger strike of not doing the dishes. So it's like the pile of dishes will get higher and higher, and I'll watch more and more episodes of Hell's Kitchen. And then it starts like spilling out like onto the counter space, and they're just like really, really pissed off, and I'm, you know, off playing a role-playing game with my nerd friends. Like, I mean, you know, I just don't care. Like, I mean, are you really trying to have like a standoff with me right now? Because you will crack first. You will crack like a terrorist being double-team interrogated by Wolverine and John McClane. You will crack like an egg smashed by a cinder block, or fucking hand, or whatever. Eggs crack easily, just like you. So like, I mean, you know what would have been an easier solution? Hey Fallon, want to do the dishes? Sure. End of story. But that roommate doesn't exist, because there are 3 types of roommates, and that's not one of them. The first one is the aggressive roommate, and they're just like, they'll like leave a note, or like they'll call you on the phone, or they'll be like, I don't know who you are or why you left all those dirty dishes in my sink, but I have a very specific set of skills that make me hell for people like you. Do the fucking dishes. All right, okay. And yes, the aggressive roommate does sound like Liam Neeson from Taken when pissed off. And then there's the second kind, which is the passive aggressive roommate. And they're the ones who will like leave a note that says, dishes aren't asexual, they don't do themselves. Smiley face, then like a star, and then like a butterfly eyelash winking face with its tongue sticking out. It's the faded tri-emoticon. And then there's the third kind, the third camp, of which I am myself firmly entrenched, and that is the passive-aggressive roommate. And like, we just aggressively don't care. Like, I mean, we're just kind of like, you know, it'll happen eventually, whatever it is. You know, I guess that's probably why they go on hunger strikes, is because the dishes somehow end up getting done, and I'm not really sure how it happens. But, you know, sometimes stuff gets to us. Mostly we don't care, but every now and then. And so you can either bottle it up and save it for therapy, or if you're like me and can't afford therapy, you can take the second option, which is sleep talk. So, like, I mean, in my sleep before, like last year, I may or may not have threatened to cut my roommate in half. Like, I wake up the next morning and she's like glaring at me, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you threatened to cut me in half last night. And I was like, oh no, what? That doesn't sound like me.